The Resilience Across Borders podcast is intended for education, support, and inspiration. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer any professional, medical, or health advice. If you are dealing with or suffering from any psychological or medical conditions, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Hello and welcome back to Resilience Across Borders podcast. I am your host, Rashid Zahidi, and in today's episode, we will talk about finding yourself and more specifically, detaching from toxic influences and toxic people. So, life is a journey filled with a multitude of experiences, encounters, and relationships. While some of these bring joy and fulfillment, others can be detrimental to our well being and personal growth. So, keeping bad company is like being in a germ infested area. You never know what you'll catch, as Frank Sonnenberg said. One of the most important aspects of self care is recognizing when it's time to detach from things and people that are not good for you or no longer good for you. In this episode, we will explore the concept of detaching from toxic influences, and of course, as usual, provide some examples, offer techniques, and strategies to help you preserve your sense of self. So, first, we need to start by recognizing toxic influences. Before we obviously delve into strategies for detaching from toxic influences, it's crucial to understand what these influences may look like. And toxic influences can take various forms, such as negative relationships, a very common one, or the first most common one. This includes friendships, romantic partnerships, or even family members who consistently bring negativity into your life, or manipulate you, or just simply drain your energy. Another form is unhealthy habits. This can be destructive habits like substance abuse, excessive screen time, or overworking. These all can have a toxic impact on your physical and mental health. Another sneaky one is limiting beliefs. When you surround yourself with people who constantly doubt your abilities or impose their own limitations on you, it can hinder your personal growth. As the saying goes, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. Another one is comparing yourself to others. I did a whole episode on this called the JOMO, the joy of missing out, and about not comparing yourself to others. So, constantly comparing yourself to others on social media or in real life can breed feelings of inadequacy and undermine your self esteem. And by your comparing your inside about the other people's advertised outside, is another really destructive way to kind of lead life. Anyways, make sure it's your own dreams, your own goals, using your own preferences and your own strengths and your goals. They have to be yours, and your life is your life. You know, you can't compare to others. You can't compare your talents to others. Everybody has their own talents and their own special gifts, and also their own preferences and what makes them tick, what makes them happy, and what inspires them and what drives them. So make sure you are focusing on yours. So do not compare yourself to others. And this takes a lot of effort, right? Do not play any status games. It's easy to fall into that. So just remind yourself of that. So, anyways, detaching from toxic influences doesn't mean cutting off everyone who disagrees with you or distancing yourself from every challenging situation. That is not what we're talking about here. Instead, it means recognizing when something or someone is consistently detrimental to your well being and, of course, taking steps to protect yourself. So, here are some examples of or for detaching from toxic influences and in a toxic relationship. For instance, if your partner is emotionally abusive or manipulative and they're not wanting to change or improve, ending the relationship is a healthy step toward preserving your self worth and preserving your emotional well being. Another one is setting boundaries. There is all kinds of boundaries. They can be about personal space, they can be financial, they can be emotional, they can be about time, they can be about all of these different things. So setting boundaries, for instance, with a friend who constantly drains your energy or makes unreasonable demands. So setting clear boundaries can help maintain a healthier relationship. So friendships and all of these things should not come at the cost of your well-being or at the cost of you neglecting what matters to you and your priorities just so you can keep someone happy who just cannot be happy or has unreasonable demands. Another one is, of course, breaking free from addictions. So this, of course, you can some of these things you can do by yourself with enough commitment, enough perseverance. Sometimes seeking professional help to overcome substance abuse or addictive behaviors is a courageous way to detach from harmful habits. Also, especially nowadays, it's a fight, but you need to make sure you're conscious about this and you're working on it, which is limiting social media use. So if you find yourself constantly comparing your life to others on social media and it's affecting your self-esteem, consider reducing your screen time or unfollowing accounts that trigger negative feelings. Instead, feed yourself positive inputs, constructive and self-development related inputs and content. Read the right books, biographies. Surround yourself with positive influences. So, detaching from toxic influences is a process that requires patience and self compassion. Here are some other techniques and strategies to help you navigate this journey. So, first is self reflection, awareness, and self reflection. Take time to reflect on your relationships, habits, and thought patterns. So, just ask yourself, are there recurring sources of negativity or stress? So identifying them is the first step to detachment. Reflect on who you are spending time with. What are they doing to you or having you do? What are they influencing you to do or not do? These are good things to do periodically to and reflect on. So those bad relationships don't just sneak in there and just become something you're doing or you are in without any awareness. So, of course, another one is to establish boundaries. Clearly define your personal boundaries and communicate them to others. Let them know what behaviors you will not tolerate and stick to your boundaries. And you can do this, of course, politely and tactfully. It doesn't have to be nasty, but you can do it. Seek support. Reach out to the right friends and the right family. I mean, you can sometimes even with family, you have to be very selective. So make sure you are reaching out to the right people and surrounding yourself with the right people. And some associations, maybe you can't fully detach from them, but you can limit the amount of exposure, you can limit the amount of time. Some friends are friends you spend an hour with, some you can spend a week with or a day with. Same thing with family. So it doesn't always have to be, especially when it's people you have to kind of deal with and contend with. You can still limit the amount of exposure and the amount of time. So reach out to the right friends, family, or a therapist who can provide emotional support and guidance during your detachment process, especially obviously from significant relationships, maybe a romantic relationship that doesn't serve you anymore, or establishing healthy boundaries with family members that you have to deal with in situations like that. And then, as always, practice self care. Prioritize self care activities that promote your physical and mental well being. This can include exercise, meditation, journaling, or pursuing hobbies you're passionate about. And always remember, embrace positivity. Surround yourself with positive influences and uplifting content. This stuff is contagious. Engage in activities that boost your self esteem and encourage your personal growth. And remember the importance of forgiveness. Forgive yourself for past choices and forgive those who may have hurt you. You're doing this for yourself. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for freeing yourself from emotional baggage or toxic experiences. So, in conclusion, or to sum up, so while you can control someone's negative behavior, you can control how long you participate in it. Detaching from things and people that are not good for you is an essential step towards preserving your sense and preserving yourself and fostering personal growth. Recognizing toxic influences, setting boundaries, seeking support, and practicing self care are vital strategies to help you on this journey. Remember that detachment from what doesn't help nor serve you is not a sign of weakness, but rather a courageous act of self preservation and self love. By taking these steps, you can create a healthier and more fulfilling life for yourself. As always, thank you for tuning into the Resilience Across Borders podcast. If you are enjoying this podcast and finding it helpful to you, please let us know so we can continue to make more episodes about these topics. You can do that by leaving a review, subscribing where you can, or leaving a comment or sharing with others who need to hear it. Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others and stay resilient.